2018 GSL Season 2 Code S Overgrowth.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain it 2 times.
Welcome back to the GSL Code S. We're going to the final best of 3. KeeN versus Solar, the rematch.
I tell you what, this song might be very fitting if KeeN once again dies in the round of 32.
That's right. He's brought
Doesn't matter how hard you try, KeeN. It doesn't matter that you're on the verge of knocking out all the best players in the world all the time, and sometimes you do. The world isn't fair. Because at the end, it didn't even matter, all right?
It might happen, man. But if KeeN can defeat Solar here, that'll be a real shift in the landscape of the round of 16.
Yeah, well, I think how KeeN's been playing tonight, if he makes a round of 16 this time, because occasionally he sneaks in there and I'm like, you might be the weakest player in that round. This time, I don't think that'll be the case.
No, not if he makes it like this.
Well, I mean, his games so far tonight have been amazing. Like, really, truly good games. SOS squeezed it out against KeeN, but, like, his games against Solar were badass. Let's see if he has more of that badassery in him now.
Okay, Solar, someone who's been so dominant as a Zerg player in StarCraft 2, but KeeN's always been good. He just doesn't... He delivers great games, just not the wins themselves. You know, he's got awesome strategic understanding. Tactically, he's quite brilliant. The question really is, has Solar gained enough information to engineer a strategy to counter KeeN's play? Or does KeeN have even more to offer than we've already seen?
Team Revolution, KeeN.
What will he bring out this game? Gas first.
Splice, Solar.
Okay.
Let's go. See what happens.
Yeah, Solar should be a bit more ready for KeeN after what's happened before, but like it's not like there were just holes in KeeN's play. He wasn't just a cheesy guy or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just be like, well, I'll just be more careful and I'll win. No. That's not going to do it alone against KeeN.
I also don't think fatigue is going to be as much of a factor here for Solar. That was a pretty straightforward ZVZ series he has.
Yeah.
Probably one of the easier tournament matches he's had in a while. So I think they're both going to be in pretty good condition here.
Certainly. Agree with you on that one. So the Reaper into an expansion, just very standard from Solar over on the other side. And now we wait.
Yes, we do. You know, we've been doing this show for over 7 years now, probably getting close to 8. And, you know, some of these players have been with us since the very beginning. We've got to watch them grow up. We've got to watch them develop as players. Some of them getting to the highest points in their careers. Other players drop out and quit. And we have players that have been with us the whole time. And, you know, KeeN's someone I wonder. He's a great player. Is he going to get to that next level, though, in the GSL? Or is that real estate going to be occupied by the usual suspects, the SOSs, the innovations?
Well, who have we seen? Okay, let's do a little history of Terran real quick, right? So there was Wings of Liberty. We're not going to count that. That was like everyone's still figuring out the game. I would say that like the more modern eras started during Heart of the Swarm.
I think that's when we had got a more refined way to play the game. The patches have been adjusting the races, and people kind of figured out how to take bases and not just do one base all-ins against each other.
And by that time, the OGs that can figure out games well but don't keep up are basically all being filtered out.
Yeah, there's always these people that right when a game comes out, they're the best at, but you know they're not going to stay the best.
Absolutely, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a gigantic, awesome skill set to have as well. But the game changes over time. But anyways, so let's look at it this way, right? The most important Terran players during Heart of the Swarm were really, I would say, Innovation and Maru.
Innovation and Maru?
Yeah.
Let's see.
These guys have been around for a really, really long... Right, the Kespa switch was at the end of Wings of Liberty, basically.
Right.
If I'm recalling this all correctly, I might get something just slightly off, but probably not because I'm great. But yeah, so, I mean, those two have been... Oh, there's some pretty nice harassment going on, by the way.
He nearly got that queen.
Yeah, not quite, though. Some more damage being put on. Hey,
dude,
now.
he's going to get this queen.
Yeah, seriously. Both of them, maybe.
This zoning is so good. Oh, my God, Solar, you're so good. But can you keep it going? There's enough here. You can just start to damage this queen.
Yeah, and more Hellions are on the way. Taking a little bit to get over there.
Hold on a second. Let's wait for the... Because this pressure, I think, is going to continue on here.
A transfuse came out, though, so that's very helpful. The Liberator coming in, though, because he's kind of forcing the queens down here and the attention down here.
Okay, the Spore just now... Or no, it's not quite finished. It's going to finish in a second here.
Yeah, and he actually moves the Liberator out of the Spore range, so really well done there. He sees it and adjusts, because it was a shift Q down, it looked like, which people normally do, but he actually double-checked.
This queen is so low on HP. It will go down. All these Hellions, though, they've all taken a beating. Wow. So if the Lings are there for just a little bit too long, then those Hellions will be taken down as well. But KeeN, very good control at the start here.
Well, very cool opening game so far from KeeN. I like it. 5 kills on this Liberator as well. Looks like he'll get a few more here. It actually hits the Queen. Oh my God, he gets it.
That was like one of those moments in GoldenEye.
Yeah.
When you both fire, you both kill each other and license to kill. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's just like some Hellion pressure remaining, and KeeN is going into bio-based play. Third command center on the way.
If you guys are just now joining us, the first game we saw from KeeN was pretty crazy. Teching into Ghosts right away.
Oh yeah, it was very cool. A little Ghost push and then some Ghost drop harassment.
Yeah, and then winning with some more normal play later on. So KeeN's really shown he's got a pretty big range of what he can pull off here.
He definitely does. These Hellions never really getting repaired, continuing to keep that pressure on. Love to see those green ones rotated to the front. Yep, there you go.
That's what he's trying to do.
Some of the hurt ones back, at least.
Okay, he actually gets one Queen. Liberator coming in again.
Yeah, the fact that he's continually sending out Liberators while attacking Queens is neat.
You know, he's doing this so fast, I don't know if Solar can keep up. He just barely gets that Queen out of there in time.
Definitely some decent kills going down.
Yeah, looks like he's going to go ahead and just sack the Liberator, not trying to get it to escape there. 4 drones were killed. Another Liberator's coming up here. This might try to go to another base and start taking out more drones. Yeah, KeeN with a high amount of pressure here. It's pretty impressive.
By the way, Solar getting Roach upgrades here, as opposed to Zergling upgrades with Roaches. So definitely kind of signals a different type of play. Might see him with a gigantic push coming out later. When you see this many Hellions continually rallied, you know that their other factory units, like Siege Tanks, will be a bit later. You know that with all the Liberators come out, there's going to be less medevacs. You know, there's a few different things. So we could see something like Solar just make a ton of Roaches and attack the third. That was like a very old strat, but Solar has a deep playbook. Let's jump back as the game slows down a little bit, because you're talking about can KeeN ever enter this upper echelon.
We didn't think they were going to have this much action, so we kind of tried to
get exciting
zoom out and get big picture, but please go ahead.
Okay, so Maru and Innovation kind of have always been right up at the top of Terran. TY was around at that time and was having a few good Pro League matches here and there, making it into leagues, but didn't really hit his full stride until quite a bit later. And then, of course, Beyond just popped onto the scene, won GSL, right, and then won the World Championship, and then kind of fell off and, like, kind of is coming back right now. And those are the guys that we normally consider very top tier. Of course, there's Gumiho, who's kind of around, and that's the only other guy that's really done it for the Korean Terrans, right? The other guys have done well, like Alive has done pretty well, but as far as, like, actually winning tournaments, there you go. Those are the names. So yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to climb.
So this is I'm sorry to derail this, but this is suddenly a very bad attack on all sides here from KeeN. Lost a big chunk of his army. Hellions were killed off. The Liberator was shut down.
Yeah, and he shuts off the factory as well, slowing down the siege tank production. With the amount of roaches he's making and the fact that his 1-1's finished, it does look like that attack we were talking about a little bit before. Just a ton of roaches and some Ravagers coming out. Of course, the siege tanks are super crucial. There's not that many of them.
Ideally, the Corrosive Biles want to connect onto the siege tanks here. There's a lot of Marines moving around here onto the side. It looks like the first tank's going to go down. But it's just too many roaches.
That's a pretty sick repair right there, though. It definitely keeps the tank alive a bit longer than he thought it would.
Oh my god, KeeN is just, he controlled that too well. Solar had some staggered Biles where the tanks were damaged but not taken out, which is just not enough. Now, they're going to come back up here again. This time, I think only one tank up here.
Some of the Biles connecting a bit. Loses a medevac there, loses some additional Marines. Oh, he's got to be careful here, though. He's overcommitting into that. Has to back up. And
for the time being, Solar's going to keep trying to lean in here.
Yeah, I don't think he can do much more. Some siege tanks, some Liberators. Going to even split them a little bit better. Or maybe that one's going to harass, it looks like.
Okay, again, the Liberator can also just be hit with Corrosive Biles. It's really about these Marines doing as much damage as possible. It seems like there might actually be too many roaches getting a pretty good surround over here. The medevac's low enough on energy, they can't really heal.
Yeah, and immediately goes after that Liberator as well. Brings up a siege tank to siege, but those Biles are going to be back here shortly as well. Solar's still just trying to break through.
I think Solar just did it. This base has been decimated. And I don't think that there's going to be enough being reinforced here on the two bases that KeeN has left. In fact, KeeN's now just scanning, see what else is remaining here. In fact, this armor upgrade is going to get shut down. Yeah, Solar is sick.
This was a really nice call by Solar. Just kind of realizing that KeeN was putting all of his production really into that harassment and then punishing him for it. Is this overcommitment into the natural?
I'm not sure. He doesn't have any easy way to hit that tank up there. So if he's still eating tank shots, I would say yes. Well, I don't see an Overseer coming over here to help out.
Yeah. The Marines actually push him back. Those 5 SCVs didn't matter nearly as much as the initial 20. And he put a lot of his army into that. So maybe giving KeeN a little bit of a way to possibly come back here. KeeN does have that additional attack upgrade. Is still making siege tanks. And this is just Roach Ravager. You know, it's got 1-1, sure. But there's no extra technicality in the army here of Solar.
Yeah, it's basically this kind of beefy battering ram of an army. They can get, if there's anything that's too slim in defense here for KeeN, he's just going to come in here and kind of roll over it. Now, we're going to see this again because there's not a really nice position to hide these tanks. I think once more, Solar's just going to kind of run over this base.
Yeah.
And this is slowly eliminating any options here for KeeN to recover.
Yeah, it's getting very, very tough at this point.
But I think this was a very smart move here by Solar. He's really playing in an excellent reactionary way.
And KeeN's Liberator harassment across the map makes this not a complete loss, even though he's in pretty rough shape at this point. Solar now has 5 bases, but has lost quite a few drones.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Solar hasn't actually ended this already. I mean, when you consider that all he needs to do is get rid of that one tank on the high ground and the Roaches and Ravagers basically kill everything.
Well, you need vision to do that.
Yeah.
That is something he does not really have too much of, considering he spent all of his money on Roach Ravager forever. Oh,
okay, now he's got an Overseer here.
You gotta be careful about this. You lose that command center Biles, you're not gonna be feeling very good. Oh wow, look at the counter harassment. Only gets a couple drones, so quick
This is something, you know?
If he gets that hatchery.
Oh, he will. Yeah, these Roaches are not going to be here in time. Goodbye. Now that's something. I'd say a full-on comeback is still a very, very far away possibility.
The army of Solar is just gigantic, and now it's got 2-1 as well. And it's like, it's not like the Marines are completely terrible at fighting this, nor are the siege tanks. It's just there's too much Zerg.
When you get this much beefy Zerg, they have too much sustain. Their damage output just builds up over time.
Yeah,
the Terran can't really hold any. I mean, look, KeeN's going to try again, but I think the third time is going to be even more brutal as Solar just barrels through and crushes him.
If he can keep Solar very busy, continually drop and stuff, keep Solar back, there's still a chance, because if KeeN maxes out, he can win the game. Like, he just needs a very high supply. Roaches get worse and worse as the supply gets higher and higher, right? So that is quite an army. I don't think there's any I think he's just dead here. This is just way too much.
You notice he can just march in from any angle now with the army.
Walk right up
It
that
doesn't
ramp.
really matter, yeah.
No problem. 3 siege tanks stifled well. Infinity Biles, though. A giant drop going across the map.
Yeah. Maybe this one tank still has a shot, Artosis.
I don't know if you even hit him there, but this counter drop is actually pretty massive. So if somehow he could clear those units that are at his main base.
Yeah, it's the inevitability of just so many Roaches and Ravagers pushing through here. Basically, Zerg's on top of the Terran's base. I expect KeeN to tap out momentarily here, even though he is trying his heart out here, trying to drop everywhere.
He's dealing so much damage across the map, too. It's just, he's got nothing left at home. He's got 7 SCVs, and all of his units are here.
GG. Solar takes game 1.
All right.
He's 1 win away from moving on to the round of 16. This has been a bumpy group for Solar. KeeN started this group out looking godlike, defeating Solar, then barely losing to SOS. SOS going with some crazy late game DT with Blink play.
Yeah.
Then he comes back, and it's just, players like Solar, players like SOS, the more games you play against them, the more they begin to adapt. And I think we may have the tragedy of KeeN happen once more.
Dude, this is really... He's like Sisyphus, man. Like, he's getting the boulder to the top of the group, and then it rolls down again. And it's a little bit sad what we're looking at. But look, that was a tight strategic call from Solar, so good on him. It looks like a license plate, by the way. It's like the Catalyst license plate there. But look, it was a good call by Solar. He dug very deep into his bag of builds and the different strategies that you can have. And was able to rock KeeN there, but KeeN put up a sick fight anyways. This is not over.
Our game is loaded up. Game 2, KeeN versus Solar. A fight. Whoa. A fight. I said it right with the GSL boys. To go on to the round of 16 of the GSL.
Team Revolution, KeeN. Splice, Solar.
Well, I still really respect the level of KeeN's play in that last game. So, just changing up his build a little bit here. Not a gas first this time, instead just regular barracks. So, I think maybe it won't be quite like what we saw. Like, obviously it's not the same build as last game. Solar clearly knows how to bludgeon someone who does that, even though it was still a contested game at least. And here's the thing, too. It's like Solar makes the tournament a lot better, because he's just like, this is a charismatic guy. He's a great Zerg player. We know that he can get out of the round of 16. KeeN is not someone that we're used to seeing like in a round of 8 or something. It's not like it's never happened, but it's, he's a round of 32 guy generally, but that's just because he has like a, sometimes things like this happen. I kind of find myself rooting for KeeN here. I want to see KeeN get to show himself again, because I think the way he's played tonight, he looks better than most of the other Terrans. Tonight, he's looked better than Alive. He's looked better than Bunny. He's looked, all these other Terrans that we know. Maybe not the very top guys, but he's looked damn good.
It's like we have Lucira, for instance, who also gets in the round of 32 all the time, but he doesn't have games to look as good as what KeeN's been showing.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, if Lucira advances, it's kind of
a little bit of an upset.
It's an upset, but it's hard to envision him just out-maneuvering and smashing someone strategically and tactically when we have so many good players. But KeeN, he looks really good in a lot of these games.
Yeah.
He just doesn't win enough of them.
Well, let's see if he can pull it together here against Solar. Just really interested in the strategies. Okay, so he's going for the triple command here. Not surprised to see that. Gonna really get his economy flowing a bit.
This is quite a different strategy compared to what we saw in Game 1.
And yeah, and don't forget that the last time that they played this map, this was the Ghost Rush map. So
Yeah, I don't think he can even use the Ghost Rush again.
no, I don't. Yeah.
Probably in this whole tournament, but
I think he'll go mech though.
okay.
I do. It seems that way to me, right? He's adding the second gas. He's getting a starport right now. I think what we're going to see from the starport is probably a Banshee, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, KeeN's had, again, a pretty interesting variety. I'm so surprised that he tried that Ghost strat just against Solar in Game 1, and it went so well. I'm like, what's going on in your practice games?
Well, the Ghost drops and stuff were
So cool.
super neat. Okay, so the Banshee is being made. Oh, another barracks is actually being made as well. Now, I have seen like one build where you make the second barracks and go mech, but no. Another barracks, no way. All right, so no mech this game. Okay, 2 queens are walking across the map.
And
What
now
is
they're
that?
turning around.
Yeah, I was
about
gonna
to say that there's some kind of a crazy rush happening here, but
There's not a 2 queen attack across the map strat. Not anymore. Back when they were
So
fast
that's-
off creep, yeah. Not now.
yeah, remember that point in time?
Yeah, it was
It was a very different
the
game.
dumbest looking thing
Like,
you've
you
ever
don't want
seen.
to inject with these. Here's what you do, guys. Follow me.
This is like the best battle unit.
Yeah.
Normal speed off creep, you kidding me? Broken.
And, of course, back then we had maps like Steps of War.
Yeah.
So, such a small space. Okay, so the Banshee's coming out. We are having Bio be powered up here by KeeN.
Yeah.
Again, guys, if KeeN loses here, his story ends. Even though he was probably, along with SOS's Blink DT, is probably one of the most exciting parts of this group today.
Do you know what? Okay, there's no E-Bays on the way, and he's already got all these barracks producing Marines. Is he just gonna hit like a? Okay, I was gonna say like I've never seen anything like this.
You thought maybe he
where,
was going to have a timing where it was just weird
Some-
enough it would throw someone who's very
Yeah.
calculated like Solar off?
like just some weird siege tank Marine timing to kill like a 3rd base or something like that, and then obviously you'd get the 4th. It's just because the E-Bays are a bit late. Like normally the E-Bays and Evos on builds like these line up pretty well.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get his 1-1 started until the 1-1 of Solar is about halfway. So, you know, a little bit behind there on the upgrades. But he's getting a lot of siege tanks.
He
and
might be
stuff,
going
so-
for a later push then.
Yeah,
just
for
with
sure.
that, because you need the upgrades to combo into the push itself. And, you know, on this map, if Solar takes the super conservative 4th base, which he did, by the way, he took the upper right, it's hard to full-on push that. He might want to try to rely more on pushing on a 5th base here, possibly.
He's going to go out and at least pressure with these 16 Marines and Medivacs. Some extra Lings and Banes on the way. A little bit of annoyance over at that 3rd base with the Ling blocking the command.
Medevac's headed northbound here. He's going to unload just outside of vision. He wants to have a big stim in here and burst down the hatchery. Because if, you know, even though the upgrades are late, you can always harass as long as you have an escape. Here we go.
He didn't see it. This is huge. He might actually get this. In fact, I think he is.
I think he does. Lings are coming up here from the bottom, but it's not fast enough.
That's a sick catch right there.
Ooh, look at this. He's actually controlling this so well. And at the very last second, he picks up. Big delay there for Solar.
That was a really large moment in this game. The fact that he forces a cancel on that 4th base. The 4th base is the point of contention with builds like these. And to just slow it down that much is really nice. Now he's got his 3rd base up. He's starting his wall. He's got his upgrades well underway. A decent amount of siege tanks already.
Nice gunning down here. This is the KeeN we were talking about. Takes out 1 queen. Just staying far away enough for the banelings. Okay, you need to pick those up now, buddy.
Yeah.
So as I was play-by-playing that, I'm like, okay, that was a little bit scary. Now KeeN is getting closer to that 1-1 upgrade. He's going to have a very scary push. Every time he comes in there and he shaves off some banelings, some queens, kills that hatchery, it means Solar might be a little bit more squishy for that big KeeN push that's coming.
Well, the regularity with which he's been producing siege tanks excites me quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times you'll see people not start their siege tanks too early, but then add the second factory and then try to hit before ultras or broods. But here it's been pretty non-stop on the siege tanks. He is adding the second factory as well, but I guess basically what I'm trying to say is he's going to have a larger number of siege tanks than you're really used to on this push. And something even like 2 more siege tanks, you know, against the Hydraling Bane is going to be really good. Looks like Broodlords are the tech of choice here for Solar. Starting that Spire and Hive at the same time. Great creep spread. Looking good.
Yeah, Solar's known for having phenomenal late game. And I think he's definitely trying to steer this game into that direction. But this is the new KeeN, we hope, coming out here that can take on anybody in the game. Now he's going to try to slip through here in the upper left and try to push there. This might actually be beneficial that KeeN's drops are spotted there, as this could allow him to slip by. I'm sorry, where do these medevacs go? There they are.
Just right in the main base. Anytime you see a Spore, you know the main base is going to take a lot of damage. All right, drops right here behind the minerals.
Ooh, this is a really nice spot to unload at. The Lynx can't get good surface area. Okay, this is getting comical how many Lynx are being picked off here. How many Lynx was that?
There was a lot of Lynx. A lot of Lynx side, but no drones, so that's important.
Okay, he's... Oh! Miscontrolled that.
That was almost awesome.
The difference between KeeN and Beyond.
Yeah. Ghost Academy coming.
Solar's been cleaning up his side of the map pretty well. The creep is basically covering half of the map.
Yeah.
And is probably going to continue to jet down towards the lower third.
It doesn't look like he has a timing attack, by the way. His 2-2 is not lined up quite quickly enough, I think, to hit here before the Hive Tech is really there.
Is this a style choice, or is this just a mistake? He got off tempo.
It might just be a style choice as well. Let's not forget how Bjorn played, right? Where he made lots of siege tanks and then sat back and made ghosts. And we saw KeeN do that into a regular Raven transition a little bit later on. But we've been seeing this more and more since Bjorn played, where people are kind of relying on the siege tanks for the long term to just keep them safe. He's got a lot of them. He's taken his 4th base. He's got that Ghost Academy up. His 2-2 is going to finish.
Keep in mind this 4th base by KeeN at a very central location. He's basically walled himself off from the bottom left. He doesn't want any attacks coming in from that side. He's going to keep it here. He wants to have a healthy push pass. This is like, what I'm trying to get is, this is not just a base for the 4th base. It's also like an outpost where he can push from and a place that he can retreat back to.
Another drop coming up the side.
So same 2 Queens are toasted. They're moving out on the map again.
Well, they're going to be
Trying
punished
to
for once. Or are they? Yes, they are. Okay, some Lingbane harassment getting ready on the side. That definitely, he's going to punch a hole right through that wall and maybe get some pretty significant damage on the 3rd.
Oh!
What?
I can't believe that lived.
I cannot believe that lived.
It's like Hydras on both sides. They're on creep.
The SCV must have been driving that one.
That's right.
Oh, look at these siege tanks just kind of sitting here waiting. Lings aren't really going to do that much.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to get that tank and some of these Marines. I think he should be able to get an army down there, though, in time.
Yeah.
Actually, these Lings are starting to get a lot of SCVs.
Yeah. I guess those were great Lings. My bad.
Get this Ghost over here.
Okay, setting up his defense once again. How many Ghosts does he actually have? Because this is a big Broodlord fleet.
Yeah, Solar's finally at that point in time where he has the Broodlords. He's got Vipers. He's got Infestors.
It's a lot of siege tanks to kind of help hold back the Hydra, Bane, Infestor. Was there one Viper? Or was there a lot of Vipers? I saw one earlier, but I'm not sure if he made more.
If there's more, there's somewhere else where a screen wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what the story is with those units down there. Solar is at the point in time where I think he can pick a fight because KeeN's expanded towards the Zerg and not to that bottom left location. It's going to be a little bit easier to push, assuming that Solar decides to do that. And I would imagine he would.
Already some pretty decent snipes coming out of KeeN. Looks like he wants to take this additional base, but Solar going to harass him there for a moment. More and more broods being made, and Vikings just now starting. Oh god, is he going to lose that command center at the bottom left? No, I guess not. Lots of damage.
He's in the red.
Yeah. Don't want to mess with that.
Here comes that push. Just barely on creep. These tanks need to back up.
Yeah, his units were pretty out of position there.
Okay, snipes first on the Queen. Again, you got to be careful when you have this many tanks sieged up and Broodlings come down, because splash damage is not your friend. In those moments, as you can see, is how much is actually destroyed. And Solar's moving in.
Oh man, those Hydras need to be dealt with so the Vikings can clean up. I don't know
Solar
if they
did
will
this
be.
so fast.
Yeah.
He just came in like immediately. Look at this. This base is going to go down in shambles.
Okay, so
Solar just goes back.
Yeah, that's an excellent turnaround too. That was such a good attack. There was just no time for KeeN to work it.
A lot of the other Zerg players we see are a little bit slower when that comes. You know, they're used to kind of. Hold up.
Yeah, we saw, like, for instance, a Laser might have lost his series, in fact, against Beyond because he didn't push there hard enough in this exact map in a similar situation.
Right.
But he sees there's not enough Vikings. The Ghosts are not going to be able to get enough snipes off to eliminate all the Brood Lords, and he kills the base. So
the thing is, this is a planetary down here at the bottom left. This will actually be, I think, pretty easy, especially with the Banes to just destroy.
Totally.
Oh, beautifully done. That's taken out, no problem. Now, KeeN is trying to reclaim this base down. Well, we don't have it on screen yet, but that location where the Brood Lords hit before.
A lot of these snipes being interrupted.
The Brood Lords are scary, but it's these Hydras with the Infestors on the low ground that are preventing the Ghosts from actually coming in here and doing the damage they needed to do. I'm getting worried, Artosis. I think this is the beginning of the end here for KeeN.
Yeah, very well maybe. Losing
Purse.
yet another command center. He's starting to get some snipes now.
Every Brood Lord was in the red or the orange, but so much damage was put out before they were cleaned up.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Wow. Solar once again reminding everybody this is why he's had so much success here in StarCraft 2. Even when a fresh, creative, and awesome KeeN comes into play, Solar has an answer. And this means Solar gets his revenge and will move on to the round of 16.
I'm looking at KeeN's face right now, an emotional journey. That was so painful. You can see he's a bit crushed there. KeeN came out tonight and showed he's actually a super high-level Terran. I feel like this guy deserves to be in the round of 16, but this group was pretty brutal. You know, they had two big favorites that do go forward in Solar and SOS, but KeeN played on their level. He ended up not winning.
He played on their level, but he just could not bring enough games that we get to allow him to advance.
Yeah,
you have to have several Codas plays if you're going to advance, and half of his games were, and half of his games were not.
네, 적의 첫 진출 강민주 선수가 만들어냅니다.
Our first
바로
Zerg player to
만나보겠습니다.
advance.
축하드립니다.
Solar, congratulations. Thank you.
네, 자 먼저 강민주 선수 2위 진출 소감부터 들어볼게요.
솔직히 오늘
Let's see
첫
I want to hear
경기에
how
진짜
you
질
feel
줄
now that you
몰랐어요.
won.
아예.
네.
그래가지고 좀
I didn't expect to lose in my first best of 3 against KeeN.
좀 오늘
So
어렵게
I was actually really
보고
stressed out
태수형이랑
after
제가
the first game today.
태수형이랑 좀 개인적으로 친해서
But
좀
when I
얘기하면서
faced
했거든요.
True,
그러니까 게임 중간중간 쉬는 타임이나 이렇게 얘기했는데 그것
since
때문에
personally
긴장이
I'm
좀 많이
quite
풀려가지고
close
마지막
with True,
경기에는 좀 그래도 첫 경기보다 훨씬 나은
we had a lot of
경기가 나왔던 것 같아요.
conversations
네, 그 황규석
about how
선수와의
I should
앞선
face up
경기를
against
언급하셨는데요.
KeeN,
그
and that helped
경기는
me
이
keep
황규석
my nerves
선수가
under control.
1세트에서 은폐 벤시인 척, 그 다음 경기는 또 대놓고 은폐 벤시를 보여주는 이 심리전을 비롯해서 이 피지컬로 압도하는 부분도
Banshee
드러났었거든요.
Cloak.
이 경기를
And
치르고
then he
나서
used
이 최종전을
Banshee for
임할
real on the
때 뭐
second
생각의
map.
전환이
His mind games are very
있었나요?
impressive.
확실히 제가 그런 심리적인
take on
부분에서
his
솔직히 많이 말렸어요.
네.
경기하면서. 그래서 개인적으로 게임하면서 약간 짜증이 나서 게임을 약간 던진다시피 한
Yeah, I was really annoyed at his
화가 좀
mind
났는데
games.
그래도
Because if it
최대한
throws me
보면서
off too much,
맞춰가자는
I can end
생각으로
up losing.
최종전에서는 그 대군주 속업이랑 이런 걸 해가지고
I think I was
잘
especially
보고
frustrated
맞춰가서
early on with how he
이긴 것 같아요.
tricked me.
네, 사실 이 많은 저그 선수들이 이 저태전, 이 후반으로 흘러가는 양상에 대해서 굉장히 부담감을 느끼시거든요. 그런데 이번 최종전을 보여주신 강민수 선수는 그렇지 않으신 것 같아요.
이게 사실 이렇게 황규석 선수처럼 이렇게 바이오닝을 하면은
네.
이렇게 그 유령이 다수 쌓이기 전에 이렇게 감염충을
Honestly,
소수만 찍고 바로 가스를 세이브해가지고
Bioterran play for
우리 군주를
KeeN.
바로 찍어서 가면 한 타이밍이 있더라고요.
And banking a
그래서
lot
그
of
타이밍을
gas.
노렸는데 카탈리스트가 또 맵이 워낙 그 개방형이잖아요.
네.
그
And
네 번째
then,
마크가 그래서 딱 카탈리스트에 맞는 전략이었던 것 같아요.
네. 확실히 지난 시즌
the
32년
mass tank
콜라
works really
이후에도
well. He's talking about
쉬지
Brood Lord
않고
counters mass tank.
연습하시고 또
Yeah, very
준비하셨다는 게
nicely.
느껴집니다. 사실 32강이 굉장히 아쉬우셨을 거예요. 스스로도
We could definitely feel how
방심했다
much you practiced for this
말씀하셨는데
GSL.
그 뒤에
Great
많은
games.
선수들이 도와주셨더라고요. 이 빌드도 짜주시고 연습 상태도 해주시고
I
많이
heard you've been helping
도와주셨던
out a
것
lot of other pro
같아요.
gamers with their
제가
practice.
토스 선수들 빌드를 많이 만들어주고 또 테란 선수들 연습도 많이 도와줬는데
네.
근데
Yeah, I've
이게
been helping a lot of my
대경기가
Protoss
아니잖아요.
friends lately.
그래서 뭔가 도와주면서도 좀
And giving them
슬프더라고요.
lots of
네.
tips and advice.
제가 저번에 A조였거든요. 그래서
네.
떨어지고 3달을 쉬었는데
네.
올해도 그러면 어떡하지 싶었는데 그래도 다행히 올라가게 돼서 앞으로 한 달간은 백수를 면하게 돼서 너무 기쁘네요.
와, 이
I was
최종전에서
pretty disappointed when I was eliminated in the round of 32 last season. And watching those Protosses.
네, 이렇게
Now they're
도와준
doing
건
well in
이번
the GSL
시즌
because it helped
2를
them.
위한 것이었을 텐데
So
네,
yeah,
이번
I'm feeling
시즌
happy.
2 각오를 마지막으로 들어보겠습니다.
진짜 열심히 하고 있거든요. 최근에
I want to hear what your determinations are for season 2.
그리고
So
게임
guys, I've been
전체적으로도
practicing really
이해도가
hard these
많이
days,
올라가서
and
이번
overall,
시즌 기대해 주셔도 좋을 것 같습니다.
my understanding of the game.
네, 강민수 선수 준비하신 건
It's definitely
마음껏
increased.
보여주시기 바라겠습니다. 다시
So
한번
please look
진출
forward to watching some more
축하드립니다.
awesome
네,
games from me.
감사합니다.
Once again, congratulations. He says thank you.
네, 자 이렇게 오늘 C조의 두 번째 진출자 강민수
Okay.
선수 만나봤는요. 오늘
What a
C조
day,
경기 결과
Artosis.
Yeah, this was great
정리해보겠습니다.
games.
It was awesome games. Kind of sad to see KeeN taken out like that, but you know, Solar was the better player.
We've really been lucky lately. Just great games all over the place. ASL, GSL, Nation Wars, everything has just been top end StarCraft.
That's
Man,
right.
lots of close stuff. So this is your results at the end. What else can you say? The two favorites made it out, but KeeN certainly made it interesting. True, having a little bit of a hard time, but at least put up a good series against SOS.
Yeah, definitely check out that SOS KeeN game, Game 3. It was awesome. Honestly, all the games are very good. I think that was our best series of the night.
Yeah.
And you know, not surprising to see these two guys advance. These were overall the favorites. But do join us on Saturday.
Oh man,
Trap, Zest, Sort of, and Alive.
that's a sick group. That's a lot of fun. That group right there.
It's looking
One of
very
our
sharp.
non-Korean players, sort of in his
I
second
feel like
GSL
Sort of
with
should do
us.
some modeling for some camping gear. He's got that look, you know.
He does, yeah. Well, he's doing some modeling right now for GSL.
Damn right he is.
He has a chance to come out of that group as well. He's a strong Zerg player. Had some great games in the last season. Didn't he end up losing to SOS 1-2? Yeah, if I
Believe
recall
so.
correctly. But yeah, this is going to be a great group. Make sure you're there. 1 p.m. KST on Saturday.
Yes, not much else to say there, Artosis.
No.
It's good to be back doing the GSL. It's good to be back with you guys. Do be sure to check out the ASL as well. We've been casting that throughout. Follow us on Twitter.
And you know what else they should check
out?
out, Tasteless?
What's up?
The Pylon Show. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. KST. Myself and In Control are going to have
That's
Rotterdam and Funka on to talk about Nation Wars and everything else in the StarCraft world. So make sure you're there. It's going to be on In Control TV on Twitch.
There's so much good content out right now for StarCraft.
Yes.
It's a good time to be an RTS player.
It certainly is.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess we have nothing else to say. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. Mwah.
2018 GSL Season 2 Go Nest Overgrowth.
The news is out as peace fades away. Falling.
Game activated.
There's a place at the end of the
GSL Season 2 Overgrowth.